Street Mall in Denison, Texas. As you walk in the front door, this is the area just to the right. I spun around too quick, so I slowed it down. Maybe I slowed it down too much. They got some interesting books on the history of Denison, Sherman, Grayson area. Some different packets to make soups and dips and all that kind of stuff. Over here is like olive oil. I don't know what that is. Honey, local honey. Local honey is always best for allergies. You know that. See, they're doing construction on the street outside. Peanut butter. Some candies. You know, the average person probably watches about 2 to 3 minutes of these videos. So what can I do to increase viewers? Is there something you'd like me to do, like pick up stuff, look at it, show it on the camera? I'm trying to be a little discreet. I'm using my phone, probably holding it about waist high, so maybe that's not ideal. I'm not sure what the deal is with these wood carving fishes. So hang them from the chain. Is that just decoration or something? There's those Scrabble numbers. These Scrabble numbers. A lot of clothing. There's one later that's very vintage. I did some work on an RV for a guy that he has this pop something. He gave me a Bono one. The number 24 DuPont NASCAR car hauler. There's some old Pepsi bottles. You'll see later that I find a old Pepsi wooden crate. It's really hard, and I didn't see that whatever that is, like a magnet maybe? What is that? Pepsi stuff's hard to find. I thought this was the Millennium Falcon at first, but I realized the Kiss Cherry Cola. Never tried cherry. Just cherry cola or cherry, I don't know. Cherry wine, that's what I've never tried. I've tried cherry cola. Everybody's had cherry cola, right? Some albums. See, when they're displayed like this, it's hard to see stuff. When you got a bunch of them, I'm not really sure how you're supposed to display them, but there's a display upstairs that kind of tell you it's my favorite way for them to be displayed. There's some more of those pop things. What are those things called? Pop rocks. Santana, saw him once. Three Dog Night. Kung Fu Fighting. Everybody's Kung Fu Fighting. Texaholic. So this booth is themed. Obviously it's for Texas stuff, and here you can pause it and read that. I think I'm reading it at this point, but I can't see it. It's too small now. There's on this little styrofoam head there's a mask on it. how many of y'all still have masks from COVID? I still see people wearing them, and it seems weird now, but I know back when a lot of people were wearing them, it seemed weird when somebody wasn't wearing one. So some Mickey stuff. And a lot of these booths just have some of it's new stuff, but I like the more vintage, and that's what I was looking for. Was more vintage stuff. I think viewers kind of like that stuff a lot more than the new stuff, but just not sure when I'm in there. I guess I should ask if I can film. And I could just be open with it and pick up stuff, talk about it, and especially the stuff that I've grew up with. I like that table there. I could take an old table and kind of make it look like that. Adorn. Okay.
When I met you, when we started off, it sure was a different kind of.
Yeah, this is the miniature booth. I really like this booth.
Should I get up? Should I
It's
get
Princess Diana Charles, I think. I can't remember. But all this is miniature stuff, like for miniature houses, and there's some kind of miniatures convention coming up, I guess here in Dallas.
a different kind of love,
There's a little
a different
card for it up there on top of that display cabinet. So what I understand is that now a lot of people do 3D printing of some of this kind of these things, like for miniature houses and what have you. Because I had somebody print me a little toilet for Little John. For Little John's RV services, they printed me a little toilet. Little John. Yeah, there were those dolls. I guess they're called dolls, right? I think my daughter Rachel would like these things here. Roosters. I know there's people that collect roosters. We had some of those pots or ceramic jars down at the bottom there. See, this kind of stuff's just really cool. Y'all, this is like an hour-long video, so that bird that my wife's holding there, my mom had some of those. She collected, she had a bunch of different ones, and one she had in her hand there is one that we think she had, at least that one. I can't remember. We don't even know where they went. I wonder where they are. What happened to them? She may have had that one with the red head on it too. I don't think she had that orange one, but she may have had all those except for that orange one. Some more roosters. Is that a butter churn? I think that is a butter churn thing. Hoot and Holler. I should give that one the best name. Those little globes like that, man, they're expensive. And then they're selling this stuff, man, bar, lotions, and what have you. I mean, I guess this is kind of a manly booth, so I guess I can see why they would their target audience would be men. Case knives. How many of y'all had a case knife? My dad knew exactly what kind of plane that was. It's a prop plane, that's all I know. I thought those little cardinals are pretty cool looking. Booth I was talking about with the vintage clothing. So is that from the 60s? I'm not sure if this is new stuff or old stuff, actually. Some of that old stuff's come back in style. Antique shop flea market. So let's see. I'm gonna point out this mask right there. I'll say it's a couple $100 for that mask, but that seems too high. This was a Sunday afternoon. It was pretty busy. We go Saturday. I don't remember. I think it was Sunday. Mugs there. I've never seen anything like them. I should have showed them up close, but there was a guy standing in front of them for so long I had to come back over to get it. That's an old trunk there. Oh, that little wooden boat, I didn't notice that.
We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight.
Yeah, I'm doing voiceover because it's just easier to do it afterwards. That singer, and the singer, God, I can't read it now. Saw a bunch of those. And they want a pretty penny for them. But yeah, doing the voiceover afterwards seems to, I don't know, be better. It gives me a chance to kind of go through, and after I've edited out the long pauses and stuff like that. Now, if there's a long pause on something now, it's because it's something I'm interested in, I guess. I'm trying to let y'all take a look at it. But when doing these voiceovers, there's long pauses because I don't know what to say in some of this stuff. Some of y'all are probably like, oh, look at that, but freaking out because I didn't really spotlight it or something. But that glass is cool how it's green like that, and you put a black light on it, and it just makes it glow. I can't remember if that's uranium glass or something else. I think there's a couple different kinds. Now these dishes here, not that shelf, but that shelf, my wife's pointing at it actually. We had some of that. We'll find one later that is real rough looking. I don't know if I videoed it, but I want to say it's like Amish cookware or something. That booth has to get the emptiest booth. Emptiest booth award. we're coming up the middle aisle, I believe, up towards the front of the store again. This display booth, there's some belt buckles. I'm starting to see people wear more belt buckles now. I didn't walk up in here because I wasn't really sure if you were supposed to go behind the counter or not. That old lamp, look at that, or a chandelier. What is that called? A chandelier, a lamp? What is it? A light fixture? Old, old, old. At least it looks old. It looks very vintage. I was going to video in the pawn shop I was in one day, but it said not to video. No videos allowed or something. So our pawn shop's kind of... Oh, wait a minute. Here's an old camera. I'm fixing to pick it up. And I didn't look at the price was like $12, I think. But you know, some people collect old cameras. But anyhow, back to the pawn shop. I was just curious. I mean, are pawn shops very... competitive or something? I don't know why they wouldn't want you videoing. What do y'all think? I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna put some music in, just kind of in the background, kind of low. But do y'all like that, or do you not? Or do you just prefer silence when I'm not talking? I think there was some dominoes down there. My dad used to love playing dominoes. Here's some old license plates, and there's one from Ontario. Can't read all these, but California, Alaska, Missouri, Indiana, Panama, that's cool. Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas. There's Ontario, Washington, U.S. Virgin Islands, that's cool. Those green glasses right there to the left, they look familiar. I'm sure it was in somebody's house I was in. Here's some more. This is the uranium glass. At least this is what it has on the name on it. Cabinet there looked kind of cool. Now we're back at the front of the store. Now we're off to the right of the store. There was some furniture and stuff I missed up front that I thought I was filming and I wasn't. That's obviously a place where you can just drop off stuff to be embroidered and patches and stuff, like for looks like FFA, school stuff, what are those, Letterman jackets? Fun fact, I have a daughter, my middle daughter Rachel. She lettered in football. How did she letter in football? What do y'all think? Aussie. Big country. There was some John Denver. Should have bought that John Denver in Aussie. I'd like to have that. Oh yeah, I'm always pointing out the Little People's farmhouse silo thing. You get into these toys and some of these vintage toys and stuff, it just brings back memories from your childhood. Hopefully pleasant ones. Oh, that little shelf, not that, the one to the left here. It's slanted, has the bigger shelf at the bottom and then gradually gets smaller. I should have measured that. We need something like that by our front door. Put put stuff on. Beer stein. Used to have a next door neighbor that collected beer steins. Bar cart. I like that bar sign there. I should make something like that. There's a Pepsi bottle. I used to work for Pepsi, so I don't drink it anymore, but I drank it when I worked there. I don't really drink sodas anyhow. That cool little theater there. I think that's what it is. Okay, those hands making the heart there, that was actually a sculpture on Apex. Celebrity Apex. It was silver though. Blue Moon glasses. Bud Light. Shiner. Ooh, I didn't see those. I need to go back and get those. They're old Schlitz glasses too. There's some stamps. Those stickers were all like NFL teams and what have you. I don't know how legal that is. Here's some paints, like chalk paint and all that kind of stuff that you can, these are all little stamps or templates. What do you call them? Not templates. What are they called? Stencils. And then some of the stuff is just press on. I can't remember what my wife called it now. I like that table. Little vintage table. Some molds. Not sure what you do with those. But across the way you see probably the most popular booth over there. And then this was my favorite booth, the way they decorated it. I really liked it. The way they staged things, and it flowed well. It was well thought out. Obviously, I think they're probably selling those. Those are candles, I believe, that they make, or I don't know. You didn't care. A different kind of love. A different kind. It was such a different kind of love. Then there's a lampshade just above here that you're briefly gonna see, and they covered it. Some kind of paper, looks like, from the booth across the way that I was talking about, the paint. And here's the most popular booth. Goodyear blimp up there, all these Hot Wheels. See if there's any in here that you had. I mean, I had quite a few. Okay, I don't think I had that one. Some of these were like new vehicles, what have you. Newer. Baseball cards. And the way this one's decorated is a very sports thing. You know, we were talking about this, these pennants, all these little pennants back here. I have not seen pennants and I couldn't tell you how long. They're obviously still making them. There they are. A lot of Texas Rangers stuff. We were on the DFW Metroplex, Michigan, Colorado State.
When I met you, when we started off, it sure was a different kind of love. Should I get up?
More baseball cards. I was trying to show you all these baseball cards, and it's probably hard to see them and think about the glare through the glass. And y'all collect baseball cards? I did, but it was after, I guess, I started making so many of them. Obviously, this person goes to a lot of Cowboy games and gets signatures, or to training camp. But man, I still have them. I had some hockey cards too, but I don't think they're worth anything. I don't think any of my cards are worth anything because they started making a whole bunch of them. After what, 89 or something, they're just not valued as well. And these are bobbleheads, I believe, over here. Number 8 car. Some more cards. Somebody bought, right there where the empty spot is, somebody just bought that card. I'd stop filming for a minute just so they can get that card out. And I don't know what all this is. Those weren't, I don't know why they were behind glass. They're not that expensive. They're like $2-3, maybe as much as $10. And then I think here we're gonna go upstairs. Yep, we're upstairs now. Nice garbage can there. Upstairs was a little more crowded. A lot of people came straight in and went straight upstairs, so maybe this is where more of the vintage stuff is, the stuff that people are looking for. You know, what do you do with some of this stuff? Is it just, you use it for decorations, just, you know, to have it because, you know, maybe it was something you grew up around or had, your parents had. It was an interesting little outfit there that was kind of put together by different materials. Some old luggage. I've seen people decorate with old luggage, make a not a nightstand, but like a end table or something out of luggage stacked up. Pretty sure we had that clock there, like that train picture there. My grandson's really into trains. He loves his trains. This little stoplight thing, it was non-negotiable. $400 and something. Remember, just saying non-negotiable. It attracts a lot. I bet they don't really want to sell it, to be honest with you. Look at that old Coleman. Yeah, there we are, looking at this more glassware, colored glass. It's really cool. I need to go to a glass blowing place. Love to see some of that done. Those old lanterns there. Oh my gosh, I did not see those when we were there. Dang it. Handbags, jewelry, clothing, old cars. Lots of these styrofoam heads. I've got one here in my office. In fact, my wife says we need to move it when I'm vlogging in my office. So I told her, no, I think we need to dress it up. We need to put a hat on it or something. And change it out every now and then. Some lamps. This is the lamp booth. They have different size booths. I'm not sure how that works. You gotta pay for your booth, but Oh, those old flashcards. Yeah, I can remember those. Is that an old bar there? I didn't notice that. There's some albums. It's kind of a cool booth. I'm looking at it. I like that turquoise color on the old China hutch or China cabinet. We've got one that we've tried selling several times on Facebook Marketplace and just can't sell it. Maybe I need to touch it up, do something different with it. Old thermos there. My dad used to have that. My uncle, grandfather. There's some cookbooks, Better Homes cookbooks. I think everybody had one of those in their house. Dad put his coffee in there for road trips, or I mean, he just every day filled it up with coffee. I think he drank coffee all day long. Santa Claus. Some cast iron stuff. Some of those thermoses. Little lanterns down
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day.
Yeah, so what is this? Is this I don't know what that is. It looks like a bar.
So hold me tight through the night.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, it's sitting on the floor. It looked like one of those 6-packs that 1 liter or 2 liter bottles used to come in, the glass bottles that you used to have to return. An old Atari. I never had one of the Ataris. I had an in television. Everybody remembers those. I don't ever hardly see those things. I wonder where that went. Some of these old Nintendo games. We had these games. We had that game console. In fact, just a couple of years ago, I think, gave it to our son-in-law, Zach. I believe he hooked it up. Is that a Sega? I believe. Yeah, I think that's a Sega. Had all girls. They weren't really interested in video games too much. I might have been. I had boys, or at least one boy. Who knows? Happy where the soul. Happy. Hope anchors the soul. Happy. Hope anchors the soul. That's a cool sign. They make some stuff like that. Jacqueline and John Kennedy dolls. This other one. $89. I like lighthouses. Lighthouse stuff is pretty cool. I like that table. That windmill. Oh man, I missed that earlier. We were there. Like that little mirror with the ceramic tile around it. You know, so much of this stuff, like that little snowman, stick snowman, whatever you call it, it's just a post with some wood and painted to look like a snowman. So much of that stuff, it'd be so easy to make it. I don't know why we don't. A little Adirondack chair that is used for decoration. I don't know. tables. Like this, looks like a chest. Bar cart. Work hard and be nice. Missed it. Oh, that's interesting. Little table down there, little cabinet thing. Looks like they painted the top of it green, a natural wood color. It's an old school desk. Yeah, how many of y'all had a school desk like that? Do good, be kind, pet dogs, repeat. This booth has a lot of clothing for animals. Obviously, this is some newer stuff. Toys, collars, like maybe leashes too. Squat with your spurs. The birdhouse. I need to make some of these. I need to make some with Baylor, and next time we're at a tailgate for the Baylor game, I could maybe sell some. Simon. Everybody had a kitchen. Chinese checkers. Big crate. Right. American glass. And swinging around way too quick on some of this stuff. Sorry about this, guys. So you always see a lot of Coca-Cola stuff. You don't see a lot of Pepsi stuff. It's an interesting way to display some of your corks. This old 7-Up display. I've never seen one of those. Made out of wood, that'd be cool. Kind of quick because it's not really a thing that is interest to me. This is just an interest to me. And swing around. Avoid the temptation to sit down. There's the construction going on outside. Look at all that ice. I'll show you a little bit of the ice, how thick it was. It was just piled up on the sidewalk. Makeup. What do you call that? Makeup desk? Makeup? I don't know what you call it. Makeup table. That's an old sewing machine table there. Those aren't like, they're felt plastic. That live edge wood on that old sewing machine thing. There's an old singer. Like that. They display that stuff on that. Look like panels. Pretty sure they're not panels. These look like some old tools here. Old cans. You know, before we had WD-40, we had those old cans. They had like old stuff. Remember those hotel room key chains like that? For the key cards that we have now, that's an old toolbox, y'all. Look at that thing. Somebody's had that for a long time. I like the way they use these ladders to make a display. There's an Ike pen. Oh my gosh, that's gotta be ancient. Now look at that. That's a kind of cool way to put some shelving up. Use some old ladders and put wood across it. Narrow, tall birdhouse there. My wife wants me to make her some decorative birdhouses. Those are signs that say resist the temptation to sit down. And this definitely isn't a place you want to bring kids into, right? Coming up here on my favorite sign. Shopping with your husband is like fishing with the game warden. This little light thing is very peculiar. I wonder what it looks like at night. It's an interesting lamp. Okay. It's a long bench there, but it looks like from upstairs. And this is my favorite vintage booth, the most vintage booth. This is Lancers up here. You see that bottle of Lancers? I can remember my parents having one of those. I guess that was a wine. Like that light, hanging light there. Old vintage Coca-Cola crates. I see there's a Canada Dry. Old oil cans. Banjo. Is that a banjo? Yeah, it might not have been. Some old drills, the manual drills, and there it is, the Pepsi crate. Those are hard to find, y'all. I don't know if it's a genuine one or not. Pictures of my favorite display for albums is coming up. You just saw it briefly there on the right. Some old nutcrackers. farmhouse. I do like this picture here. I think that would be cool in our house. I'm into farmhouses and cattle. There it is. That's the way I like them to be displayed. That way you can kind of see them. Not having to flip through all of them just to find something good. That in excess. Listen like thieves or something like that. The Beatles. There's another big country. There's some of these pop star, pop rock, whatever they are. So some Kiss stuff. More Beatles. Past New Year's, aren't we? Oh, that little green display thing was cool. Sure, there's a lot of clothing in this place.
We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you.
Some more pennants.
Hold me tight through the night.
I like that picture frame, the way they took an old frame and just painted it that dark blue color. Cool looking.
Us two, me and you.
That's an old ice box right there. Oh, here's some 8-tracks.
Just feel so lucky, still can't believe you love me.
There's an old Boston one. Sticks.
I hope it never ends. Let's be more than
Foreigner, Cheap Trick. Urban Cowboy. REO Speedwagon Live.
I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah.
I remember those.
So hold me tight.
When it switched tracks, I could do that clunk, clunk, clunk noise. It was crazy.
It's just
We used to have some of these. I remember those lids.
can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me.
CDs there. Bunch of license plates. Come back over here to this ice box because I missed it when I first walked by it. My wife mentioned it. And I was just talking to a friend the day before. He was talking about, we're both in the RV repair business, and we were talking about how or he was talking about how you fixed an ice box. I was like, an ice box? What do you got to fix on an ice box? Ice box isn't not even electric. He's just old school and calls everything an ice box. But he fixed a refrigerator.
Just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me.
So if you're still with us, I mean, y'all could like and subscribe to this. I'd love it. It tells me y'all want more of this content, and we could go visit some more places. We've got a couple other videos already. It's antique stores. What do you call them? Vintage stores. I've done 2 or 3 of these videos already. For a while there, they were getting, seemed like quite a few views, but it's dropped off since. But if this is content you like and you haven't seen any more of mine, go check them out. Let me know what kind of style you like on it. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this channel. I think it's okay to have a mix of stuff, but the daily vlogs, those will continue. Trying to be putting a little bit of positivity out there in the world. Alright, is this a terrarium or terrarium? I tried looking up a terrarium, and that's not a thing apparently. Atrium is, but no, I think it's a terrarium. So my aunt used to have several of these. One like that, kinda. And then another one was just a glass bottle. And I can remember her moving and how heavy those things were. I was a little kid, so of course they were heavy. The way they did that dresser looks pretty cool. Old typewriter. Please do not type on this typewriter. There's the dog stuff again. Now we're outside, and this is what it looks like. They're still doing construction on this street. I don't know how much more they got left to do downtown, but downtown Denison has won many awards for the cutest downtown. It's really neat. They got a lot of stores and what have you, but go check it out. Check out these places, and just like and subscribe if you like this content, and share it with somebody else that might. Thank y'all. God bless.